Ladies and gentlemen, friends from South Africa, we wish you all a very warm welcome on the show Race Preview Mauritius, where we're going to analyze the race card for the 28th and 29th meeting respectively. So this week we have a double header, Saturday and Sunday, and we are going to have with us to help us read the card and analyze it, our friend Devon Habib. Devon, good afternoon. And welcome on the show again.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. So you're ready for the double header?
Yes, it's exciting to have a double meeting. Lots of racing this weekend, and I think there's a lot of good racing. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the day holds.
Exactly. We have, for example, on the 28th meeting, the meeting which is going to be held on Saturday, 8 racers on the card. We've all been quite competitive, so that will give us nice competition in terms of analyzing and finding the winners.
Yeah, look, there's some good standout bets, and I think it's some tough racing as well. So it's a day for everyone to make money, and I think the punters are going to be happy come the end of the day.
Let's hope so. And as we said, since we have a double header, let's get straight into the action with the first race on the card, the Pandit Sahade, also known as Daji Rama Memorial Cup. Race which is going to be run over 1,650 meters for the horses in a bracket of rating 0 to 15, and the horses in there are Supreme Elevation, Bell's Apostle, number 3 Midnight Oracle, number 4 Artax, number 5 Cadiz Champ, number 6 Bypass, and number 7 Slightly Scottish. So what would be your choices here?
Look, I'm quite big on this horse Bypass. I like it today, and I think it's going to be 6, 3, 2 and 1 in that order.
6, 3, 2 and 1. I will ask you to give us a global analysis of this race.
Look, I'm big on this horse Bypass. I think it ran a massive race last time. It wasn't the best running for it. It was very unlucky. The jockey came off after the race. So I think he'll bounce back to win. And I'm quite big on this horse. I'm quite confident that it's going to go pretty close. Probably win this race quite easily in my opinion. And then look, obviously the dangers are going to come from number 2, who's winner last time out, dead heat winner, and I think that's the danger to the horse that I'm fancying. Good form last time out, it won the time before that, ran to the Hitman, Heart of Darkness. I mean, the form's pretty strong there. And then look, a little bit for third, I like this horse Midnight Oracle. I think it's got a massive chance as well. I mean, the form's not the greatest, but its last 2 runs showing that it's got signs of it coming back to its best self, and should go pretty close. Got Billy Jacobson up, who is riding very well, and Simon Jones's horses are in a good space. So I think I'm quite confident this race is going to go quite smoothly.
You were talking about Bypass, horse number 6. His trainer was not very happy with the ride of the jockey last time out. He changed jockeys this time, but you've been at training for the past weeks now, and we have the impression that Bypass is slightly below previous in terms of condition.
Look, I thought he was looking quite good at work, and I thought this horse is going to go pretty close today. I mean, his form says it all. The ride last time, it wasn't the greatest ride, and I feel like if it gets a better ride this time, it can go pretty close, and that's why I'm fancying it as my selection. We saw he came quite wide into the home straight, and you lose a lot of distance when you come that wide into the home straight, you know. So I feel like this horse is the right horse in the race. Distance it's won before, it's not going to be a problem. So I think it's going to.
So you're going to stick to 6, 2, yes. 3 and 1.
That's correct.
So we'll move on to race number 2, the Maurice Curie Memorial Cup, 1,850 meters, rating 0.26 with 6 runners, namely number 1 Bellagio King, number 2 Heart of Darkness, number 3 Overdose, number 4 The Hitman, number 5 Executive Decision, and number 6 Sir Capers. What would be your choices here, Devon?
Look, I'm quite big on this horse Heart of Darkness as well. I like it quite strong. I think it's going to go pretty close. Probably win it as well. To beat home number 6 Sir Capers, number 3 Overdose, and number 4 The Hitman.
2, 6, 3 and 4. So Heart of Darkness, like you said, is a horse that has won 2 races already this season. And with Jami Ali Hussein on board this time, he goes in with a good chance, having finished close second, like you said, behind Eagles Vision.
Yeah, look, last time out, I was very unlucky not to win. I mean, I made Eagles Vision a really good thing last time out, and he just got caught on the line. So I really make this horse a big runner. Look, he's 10 years old. Not many horses get to 10 to race, so it's an achievement on its own. And I think this horse is in a good space. He's running well this season, and I think this is the right horse in the race. I don't see much beating him.
Sir Capers, horse number 6 with Niven Maudi on board.
Yeah, look, this horse has been working really well. Like, I like the way this horse is working. It's in a good space. Like I said, Simon Jones horses are flying at the moment, and they've turned the corner. I think they're gonna pop up on us, so we can't leave them out. And I like this horse to run into second position.
Number 3 Overdose with José da Silva will jump from barrier 2.
Yeah, look, this has got the draw, good jockey up, in good form. So I do like this horse for third. A lot of talk about this horse, and it's working well. So we got to tip it into the place in somewhere. And
my choice here in this race is number 4, the Hitman from the yards of Shamer Chan with Andre Louis da Silva. He won on his last outing, which was against Bypass. So this is the horse that I would fancy here, for example.
Yeah, look, well, if Bypass wins the first race, the form line's there again, you know. So I do like this horse. It was a tough decision not to put it in for my first, second and third selection. I mean, it's a previous winner, well, it's last started one. So yeah, look, I do like it. I think it is the danger to a few of these horses. I can't say that you're wrong. I just don't think it's going to win. I think it should run in the first 4 there.
So your choices would be horses number 2, Heart of Darkness, in front of horse number 6, Capers. In third place, you've put Overdose, and in fourth, the Hitman. Race number 3 on the card, the Sir Viraf Sami Ringadu Memorial Cup, 990 meters, benchmark 56, with 6 runners again. Number 1, Henry Tudor. Number 2, Action Pact. Number 3, Gunston. Number 4, Justine. Number 5, Dunan. And number 6, Creation. Your choices here, Devon?
Yeah, look, you might think I'm going a bit senile here, but my value bet comes in this race, and it's going to be with number 2, Action Pact. I really like this horse, and I think this is the horse that's going to dethrone the 990 specialist Henry Tudor. For second, and for third I like a bit of Gunston, and fourth Dunan.
Now that's a gusty choice. Action Pact with Devon Habib, 60 kgs, drawn number 4. He was very average last time. We can even say that he was struggling last time out, beaten fair and square by FT.
Look, in my honest opinion, I know this was from South Africa, the form line is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, 2.5 lengths, 2.8 lengths behind Eric the Red, 2 lengths in front of Stormy Seas, 3 lengths behind Kayla's Champ. These are top horses in South Africa over that distance, 1,000, 1,200. I think this is the value in the race. Drawn 4, Bernard up, back in the right distance, 990. It was bumped its first 2 starts here in Mauritius, and I think this is the horse that's going to do something on the day. It's a value bet for me at a big price.
Number 1, Henry Tudor.
Look, Henry Tudor, the 990 specialist. Not many horses can beat him over 990, but I think the horse that they're going to have to beat is Action Pact, in my opinion. It's going to be quite hard to beat him. He's a very quick horse. He's going to be fast out the pens. And look, obviously Henry Tudor is a good horse, so we can't leave him out. He's the classy horse in the race, and he's proven it. So we've got to put our heads and say, listen, look at this horse, you know. So that's why I'm selecting him as my second choice.
And for third, you went with Gunston, drawn number 1. His distance is quite questionable here, him being more of a miler than a sprinter, especially over the 990.
Yeah, hence why I've selected him as my third selection. Do think he's a very quick horse, but over 1600. I don't know if he's going to be quick enough to get to the front in this race. Look, there's going to be a lot of pace up front, and I think it's going to be a fight out for the lead. But it's a 990, so I mean they can go flat out the whole way. In my opinion, I think this horse is going to be just below them and probably run into the back end of quartet, so third, fourth, somewhere around there.
Dunan, horse number 5.
Yeah, look, in my opinion, if they do cut throats up in front and Henry Tudor and Action Pack Cutthroats. I think it could be perfect for Donnan to run into the money, or if not win. But I feel like they're gonna. I mean, Action Pack's gonna be a bit too quick for them. So
you're action packed, really.
I'm big on the sauce. I'm big on the sauce.
So you'd stick to number 2 in front of number 1, Henry Tudor, who's the distance specialist here. Horse number 3, Gunston, and horse number 5, Donnan. This takes us to the 4th race of the day, the Renganaden Sinivasan Memorial Cup, 1,400 meters. Rating 0.25 with 7 runners, namely number 1 Jakalak, number 2 Spotted Pearl, number 3 Gun Traveling, number 4 African Rock, number 5 Proficient, number 6 Into the Mystique, and number 7 Yoho Mist. Are you action packed for this one too?
To be honest, this is the toughest race on the day, in my opinion. I think it's a really, really difficult race, and
so you might want to go traveling.
That's my first selection actually. So yeah, that is my first selection, Gone Traveling. And number 6, Into the Mystic, to run second.
So you want to travel into the Mystic?
Into the Mystic, and Proficient for third. And a little bit of Jakalak for 4th, but I'm finding it hard to find the 4th place. I think Spotted Pearl as well. It's a tough race. I mean, if I look at this field, every single horse is flying at work. They're all working well. They're all doing well. They all got form. It's difficult to point out a winner. So I've stuck my neck out and I've gone with Gone Traveling. I want to try escape this race a little bit.
So Gone Traveling with Akasha Charas, drawn number 2, will carry the top weight of 61 kgs.
Yeah, look, Jakalak is the horse that's been doing well at this track at the moment. I mean, the season is picking up and it's starting. I mean, it ran 4 lengths to Partnering Crime, a length to Mauritius. I mean, those are 2 good horses. So I'm finding it hard to not fancy this horse. That's what I'm saying. The form line in this race is really, really good. But I'm gonna have to explain to you why I really like this horse, Gone Traveling. I think at work he's flying. He's really, really doing well, and his form is great. Dore is one of my fancies coming up, and he ran 2 lengths behind Dore. So I think this horse is gonna probably win it. You know. If it doesn't win, it's going to come from either the 6 or the 5. It's a very, very tough race, this.
Now, you've talked about Gone Traveling, you've talked about Proficient, Jakalak, even Spotted Pearl. Into the Mystique is amongst your selections.
Yeah, look, Instant Mystic is my 2nd selection, so I've got to talk about him. I think he's got really good form as well. Surprise winner, in my opinion, last time was Unbelievable Lad, and I did fancy this horse into the placings last time. So yeah, I'm going to say that this horse has got a good draw. Ram Sammy's up. I think he's a decent rider. I think he can go into the money. I mean, he ran 2nd to Eagle's Vision with it, so he knows the horse, and I think it will go close. I mean, it's the danger to Gone Traveling, but it's a very tough race. I'm going to emphasize on that.
And one horse which is a bit of a dark horse in here is horse number 7, in spite of it being grey. Yoho Mist is a horse that has run 3 times, placed 2 times in South Africa. He's been working like a champion at training, but has failed up to now to bring that performance and proficiency to the racetrack on the race day. He's been working way better with the hood. Do you think this can do the trick this time?
Yeah, look, nearly every single race meeting that I've tipped this horse. And I've said it's a really nice horse, you know. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm giving up on this horse, but maybe the hood is going to do the trick that it needs to. And look, he's a really beautiful horse. So, let's hope he can. Let's hope he can improve for the owners and the trainers and the connections. I feel like it's a nice horse. So, I mean, his run behind Almo wasn't bad. 5.5 lengths. I think Almo is a top horse in Mauritius. So, yeah, he's got a chance. Any single horse in the race can win.
So we'll just remind the viewers of your selections here: number 3, number 6, number 5, and number 1. Race number 5, the Carl Hoffman Memorial Cup, a race which is going to be run over 990 meters, benchmark 41 with 7 runners. Number 1 being Kendall Cove, number 2 Captain Garrett, number 3 Alaskan Knight, number 4 Captain Mike, number 5 Trying Times, number 6 Desert Boy, and number 7 Kingsman. So what would be your choices here?
Yeah, look, it's a standout bet for me. You can put 5 stars next to this horse's name, never mind 3. Captain Mark. I'm all Captain Mark in this race. I don't see anything beating him. I'm very, very confident. I think Captain Mark will win quite easily. It's flying at work. It's really doing well. And Vicky Ruiz horses are really looking good. So, I mean, yes, it's work. Look at it. It's just absolutely going through these paces like there's no other horses in the race. I mean, it's just gonna, I think it's gonna win really easily come race day.
So what would be the other horses that you would consider who can at least give him a fair trial in terms of trying to beat him?
Look, if you take Captain Mark out, it's a tough race. So, look, Candle Cove, in my opinion, is the horse that's going to maybe challenge him. Third to Bellucci, not a bad run. And Captain Garrett also. I think it's going to... I might even be able to put my head out and say maybe a dead eat for second, you know, 1 and 2. I'm going to stick my neck out there, and then I feel like Desert Boy could run into the back end of Quartet. It's doing well, it's in good form this season. So yeah, that's my 4th selection.
Desert Boy, who was beaten by the same Captain Mike when they last met a few weeks back.
Yeah, look, 4 lengths behind Captain Mark, but its previous penultimate 2 starts were pretty decent. Winner. So, I mean, it beat Nanito and it beat Edge of the Sun. I just don't think it's good enough to beat Captain Mark today. It's got to have to do a lot to turn 4 lengths around. So, I feel like Captain Mark is a standout bet in this race.
Candle Cove, who's been doing quite well since the end of last season and already has 2 wins this season, had the impression that he remained more or less one-paced on his previous outing, which is most probably a bit the case most often when he runs. He's getting down in class. We have to beware of him.
Yeah, look, Candle Cove is the danger, but I'm not really confident. I don't know if I can stick my neck out on this horse. I like him for second, but I think it's going to be, like once I said, it's going to be quite hard to beat Captain Mark. Yeah, it's like really difficult. I mean, it's form round behind Cartel Boss 6 lengths, but it beat Cloudseed the time before that. So, yeah, I don't know. Like you said, one-paced. It's going to be hard to keep up the paces with Captain Mark. Eh?
Captain Garrett, horse number 2, going to have Yanish Taka on board. And he will benefit from the claim of 4 kilos, so will only be carrying 56.5 kgs. Draw number 2, he was a winner last time out, where he ran on to win the race quite comfortably, we can say. What can we expect of him? Probably, what I was just checking. In fact, we learned during the week, I think it's yesterday or the day before, that Lola Bud, the broodmare, just passed away after giving birth to a new colt, a powerful colt, 1 or 2 days back, and she just passed away. So probably Captain Garrett, why not in memory of the mother?
Yeah, shame. That's sad to hear about that. I didn't know. So yeah, sympathies to the connections. I do feel like maybe it could be a bit of a tribute to the family of the owner of the mare, you know, but it's gonna have to beat obviously Captain Mark. Captain Garrett, Captain Mark, maybe it's also a bit of a exacta selection there for me. I don't know, take the 2 captains there. I mean, captain of all, his dad was a really good horse captain.
We are lucky there's no Captain America or something in there. So your selections would be horse number 4, number 1, number 2 and number 6 for this 5th race. The main race of the day, the Joker Cartel Musical Cup, 1,500 meters, benchmark 66 with 8 runners. Number 1 here is Absolutist, number 2 Licario, number 3 Blackburn Rock, number 4 You Pay So Mine, number 5 Afdik, and number 6 Special Blend, and number 7 Stop All the Clocks, and number 8 Seattle Kid. what would be your winner here?
Well, it's a tough race. A lot of classy horses in this race. I do like number 5 to win. I'm going to back him up to make it a hat-trick. Number 3 to run second, number 1 to run third, and number 6 to run fourth.
Let's start with number 1 then. Absolutist Nabil Sheikh Bachamia on board will carry 59 kgs, benefiting from 3 kilos of claim for the apprentice. Will jump from number 3. He's getting at a distance that probably might be a little bit sharp at this stage of the competition for him. We have to remember also that he was being prepared principally for the Maiden Cup, the most prestigious race of the racing calendar here for the Mauritius Turf Club. But he's had some kind of injury which prevented him from taking part into that race. Now he's being brought back very sharply in distance.
Yeah, look, this is the classy horse in the race. Really, really good form. I mean, if you actually see the gatekeeper in this race, should make it a one-horse race. I mean, Twist of Fate, one-horse race. Al-Shabar, one-horse race. And he's not further than 2 lengths behind any of them. The distance, in my opinion, isn't a problem. I do think this is the one that we have to watch. If he hasn't done anything bad to himself, I feel like this is the horse that could possibly win this race. I've got my worries about him, though, because of the injury that he had, but he's really working well. He's in a good space, and look, I don't know if the distance is perfect, but it's done nothing wrong over the 1500. So, yeah, I do like him, but I like him to run third. I'm gonna say Avdik is my fancied horse in this race, only because of the way it won last time. I mean, it's really working well. It's in a good space. It's flying at work, and yeah, I don't have to really say much. The form speaks to itself, and yeah, I think they're going to have to run to beat this horse again come race day.
Number 3 here, Blackburn Rock with José de Souza, a last time winner where he finished in front of Kamadiva.
Yeah, look, I think its last run was good, but its penultimate start was even more impressive. Half a length behind Walls of Dubrovnik. That's quite impressive, over 1400. So that's what made me select this horse as my second selection. I do like this horse, and I think it will go really close to winning it. Just then I think Aftik's going to be a bit too strong on the day. If you take Aftik's form, its last 6 runs, 5 of them are winners. It's quite impressive. So yeah, I'm big on Aftik.
And your last choice of this one is Special Blend with Devon Habib.
Yeah, I think this is the dark horse in the race. Also, behind Walls of Dubrovnik last start, ran second. I do like this horse. There's a lot of talk about it, and I feel like we just got to watch betting on the day and see how it goes, you know.
So just to recall your choices here, Devon, horse number 5 for the win, Avdik in front of horse number 3, Blackburn Rock. Horse number 1, Absolutist in 3rd place, and to complete the quartet, you've included horse number 6, Special Blend with Devon Habib. Race number 7 is the Subdeo Bisduyal Memorial Cup. Is going to be run over 1,365 meters, benchmarks 36 with 8 runners. Namely, gang leader number 1, number 2 Great Stovanen, and number 3 Good Buddy, number 4 Tigers Rock, number 5 Well Connected, number 6 Kufeliud, number 7 Straight, and number 8 Illicit Kiss. So Devon, here we're going to know whether you're a gang leader or you're well connected, or even if you can have an illicit kiss.
I feel like I can have illicit kiss. I'm massive on this horse. It's my banker for the day. I don't think the jockey's going to move again. I think he's just going to sit and pose and take photos and become a celebrity after this. This horse will win the same way it did last time. I don't see it being more than a one-horse ratio. I'm really big on this horse. I think there's no ratio.
For the purpose of a selection, then what would be your other choices?
Sure. I don't know. I'm going to look a bit straight. I'm going to go straight, and for second, 3rd, Great Stavanen, and 4th, Kufeliud.
So it's number 8, number 7, number 2, and number 6. Illicit Kiss, which is going up in distance.
the way it won last time, just not many horses can win in Mauritius that way. It's working extremely well. It's in a good space. And yeah, as you can see, it's working really, really well. It's moving freely. The jockey's going to do the exact same motion like he's doing at work. Come race day, just sit and pose the whole way. I don't think he'll even have to move on this horse. It's going to be an easy winner once again. The form line in South Africa is extremely strong. I mean, a length behind Almo, 2 lengths behind Faustino.
And Mohu won 2 in a row here last week.
And Faustino, the 400-meter specialist in South Africa, he won the 400-meter dash. So one of the fastest horses we've got in South Africa, part of Avon, top horse. I really think, see, when they stepped it up to the 1750, it's the only time it didn't run a good race. So I think this is a 1365.
But he had a difficult race that he over-raced and he was free wide all the way.
Yeah, 100%. And it's still 10 lengths behind Catch the Tune's not the worst run. But I think, yeah, they're gonna have to pick their feet up and run. I mean, this horse is really in a good space. It won really easy last time, and yeah, I'm massive on this horse. Good draw, good jockey, stables in form. Not much I can say.
You're probably right. In this one, probably the battle is going to be for the places where you have included number 7, number 10, number 6. Tell us more about it.
Look, I like Straight. It won a good race last time, and I think, yeah, he's in a good space. He's looking well. He's working well. I mean, he worked with Do or Dare come weekend. He worked with Do or Dare during the week, and come the race day, I think Do or Dare is a big runner. So yeah, I've got to fancy him for second. I just got to put my blinkers on and look straight. You know, it's you got to focus on the one horse. But yeah, I'm quietly confident that it will run second.
Great Stavanen and Kufuliut.
For some reason, I might be looking at it wrong, but I think Great Stavanen is in a good space as well this season. He's working extremely well, and the only thing that's negative about this horse is the Barrage always drawn 8. So yeah, it's the only negative in my opinion. But other than that, it's in a good space, working well. So yeah, I think should run into the placings.
So Illicit Kiss here seems to be quite logically the horse to beat, and when you look at the card, it's true to say that it doesn't look like he's going to get beat this time out. So horse number 8 in first position, in second you've included number 7, then number 2 and number 6, which leads us to the last race of the Saturday race card, the Sir Harold Walter Memorial Cup, 1,600 meters, benchmark 31. Going to be run with 8 runners, namely Senor's Guest, Arnica Montana, Do or Dare, Inauguration, Believe in the Future, Talisman, Wemia, and after the order. So what would be your preferences here?
So I'm big on Do or Dare. The Illicit Kiss form lines there, high voltage, and it won last time, so yeah, I'm quite big on that. I do like it strong. For second, I like number 6, Talisman. Third, number 5, Believe in the Future. And fourth, Inauguration, number 4.
Do or Dare, number 3, last time we know, where he finished ahead of Proficient, almost 1.5 length. Akasha Charaz on board yet again, but he's drawn 8 out of 8.
Yeah, look, I think the draw's not too much of a problem for this horse. He comes from behind anyway, so I think he's going to jump, come back, and it should follow up. I mean, Yazid in the race, yeah. He's there at the back of the field, sitting about 6th, 7th, and you have to even check for running there with the purple colours. Here he comes for him. He's making up a lot of ground, and I mean, there was a lot of talk about Proficient on the day, so this was a massive run. I mean, look at that. He just pulls away from this field. And I think he had more in the tank still to come. He won quite easily. So I do like this horse quite strong. And I think he's going to follow up. I think he should win again. And I'm quite confident that he'll win again.
And this one we see him kicking really.
Yeah, he's got to turn off with this one. Look,
that's a joke that we used to like have in you because of one of the videos. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. I'm still waiting for that turn off with Secret
but
Circle.
Still, the horse won.
It's still won, so yeah.
Number 6, Talisman.
Yeah, look, this is the danger come to Duodé. It's probably going to be favoured on the day. It's in a good space, jockeys in a good space, trainers in a good space. So, yeah, we can't forget that the form the formation is in a good space. So I think this is the horse to beat. It's working extremely well. But I think this is the horse that has to beat Duodé, you know. So I think that's the only negative in my opinion. The draw's good. So yeah, I think I would have made it my first selection, but I'm quite big on Duodé. I do like the way Duodé is running at the moment, and the Illicit Kiss form line is strong for me. So that's why I've tipped Duodé for first and that for second.
Number 5, Believe in the Future, from the yards of Shamerchand, draw number 3, carrying 60 kgs with Andre Louis da Silva, a horse that's going to love the additional 100 meters.
Yeah, and look, its second run, yeah, I mean, its first run wasn't bad, not disappointing at all. I think it could make massive improvements. It's one to watch. We've got to keep an eye on this horse.
Inauguration, the old but still going.
Yeah, the tough knocker. Also, like I said, Vicky's horses are in a good space, and I do think this horse will be running on for the back end of quartets.
So number 3, number 6, number 5 and number 4 are your choices here, Devon. We have had a look at the 8 races and had your selections. I would now like, before we end the show, to ask you for your banker of the day, which, if my memory is good enough, is Illicit Kiss.
That's correct. I'm massive on Illicit Kiss, and yeah, we don't kiss and tell, so this one you can kiss and tell, as the mother's name is Kiss and Tell, you know.
Exactly. And what about an outsider or a value bet for the day?
Yeah, my outsider came in race, it was race 3, Action Packed. That's my value bet for the day. Number 2, Action Packed, race 3.
Illicit Kiss as the banker, Action Packed as the outsider. So Devon, we can only now say thank you to you for being on the show again.
It's only a pleasure. It's always good speaking alongside you, and thank you for all the advice and help that you've given me. Yeah.
Well, we hope that you've given enough advice and help to our viewers, and that you have given them the right horses that they can have some fun on Saturday. Just to remind you that we have a double header this week, Saturday and Sunday, race meetings 28 and 29 respectively. So probably we're going to meet just very soon for the race preview Mauritius for the 29th meeting. Until then, keep well, stay safe, bye bye.